All right, so technical issue number one, I was muted. Plus, this was much louder than the other one, so it probably just came out really loud. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm trying to fix my stuff here. If this is your first live stream, this is completely normal. I don't know what in the world I'm doing, and it always takes me a minute to get my crap together. Audio came in, good. If I can just get this chat to look a little bit better. Maybe it'll be better. All right, welcome. Good to see you guys. Loud? I can turn that down. Audio levels are tough to tweak sometimes. All right, let's try that right there. Yeah, it has been a while. Chat's flying by. Yeah, chat always goes really fast. Way too fast for me. And this that I've got on screen looks freaking awful. We can't read it. Hmm. Do. All right, we might just roll with it. I'll fix it later. Good to see you guys. What's going on? What y'all been up to? So, if you maybe missed yesterday's video, you might not know. We're going to start doing this live chat every Monday night at this time. So 8 to 10 p.m. is the plan. Is that good with you guys? I kind of like Monday because, immediately after Sunday, I think it'll be an opportunity to, revisit that week's video and oh, sorry, I had something else screwed up there. Sorry. Yeah, it's a good time to review the video from the previous day and catch up, and I think it'll work out well. Hey, good to see everybody. Saw the super chat come in. Appreciate that. Thanks, Tim. And speaking of that, the alert didn't go out. Why didn't the alert go out? It should have come up and said something. Whatever, no big deal. Tell you one thing. What has Sierra done? Like, look at this. I picked up a couple boxes. So the 308 is doing so good with the 168 grain bullets. I'm trying the 169s. This is a newer bullet, and this is the first I've seen of this box design. When did they switch to this? It's busy, and you can't read it. I mean, I might just be old and blind, but take a couple boxes about that far away. Like, you can easily read this one, see what's going on. You can even get the frickin' part number. That one is a mess. It's a cluttered mess. What in the heck? All right, so let's see. You got an alert? Okay, maybe I just don't have the volume set right. We'll figure it out. The 169 was the first release you saw in that box. Maybe it's a... Yeah, I'm not sure. I would be sad to see them abandon this design and go with that. Just for... I've always really liked this particular side of the Sierra boxes. When you're in the gun store or whatever, looking at the wall of bullets, you can generally find what you're looking for pretty quickly with the Sierras, and not so much with this new design. So we'll see how it goes. Sierra has left the chat. Yeah, alerts for the super chats. Yeah, it should come up and say ding dong, Actually, I think I've got text to speech, so it should have like read out what, uh, yeah, what Tim had written. There's another one from Ryan. Good to see you, man. Appreciate that. Love to see more 223 and 308. That's a good thing because that's kind of I'm going to lean into that harder. You know, I've done some 308 videos recently and the 223s as well, and I want to keep on going with that because people are watching and I'm enjoying it. So those are the two things that kind of matter. Everybody, a lot of fans of the maybe less popular calibers that want to see their stuff, and I want to pull those out sometimes too. But I think I need to. Yeah, there always needs to be a good sprinkle of the standard stuff that everybody shoots, like 308 and 223. 90 grain 223. Well, my only 223 upper is a 1 in 8 twist. If I had a 1 in 7 twist, I'd try it, but yeah, I don't think it's worth the trouble with the 1 in 8. But the 90 and the 95 shot really great for me in 224 Valkyrie. Saw somebody else had mentioned the Valkyrie a little bit ago. 300 Blackout is popular too, no doubt. Yeah, 300 Blackout definitely needs to show up. Actually, I've got a couple boxes of bullets right over here. Yeah, sitting right within arm's reach. This will be the next 300 Blackout video. Not exactly certain when that's going to be, but the 150 grain gold dot that's specifically for the 300 Black. I want to try those out really soon. Plus, I love 300 Blackout. Tell you what, that chat box is just annoying me. I'm going to just turn it off. There we go. Better nothing than looking at that crap. Any chance of some 30-06? Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, so I've got my M1 Garand that we'll be shooting some more. Somebody else had sent me a message asking about 30-06, and I was like, well, I've done several Garand videos, and I looked and I haven't. Like, I don't really have any standalone Garand videos. That's been the problem with my video format up to this point, I think, is too many videos where I load a bunch of crap and forget what was in what video. And like, I know the Garand has shown up on the channel, you know, in quite a few videos, but it must have been in, you know, videos where I was talking about a press or a piece of equipment or whatever. So yeah, make a long story short, I want to do some more 30-06 work definitely. And I've got a 30-06 bolt action rifle I could probably borrow from somebody as well. So maybe one of these days. More 6 arc in a bolt gun. Bolt gun won't happen, but we'll be doing more 6 arc. The 105 Burger hybrid target is probably the bullet I'll revisit it with first. Primers are getting to over 100 locally. That sucks. Hey, Ken. Hope things are good in Texas. Good to see you. Appreciate that. Thoughts on a progressive? I mean, they're great. They just don't really match my, like, I don't need progressive loading capability very often. So it's just never been something I'm super interested in. So if I got it, it would mainly be to make videos about. And I've found over time that, man, when I buy stuff just to make a video about it, or I'm kind of, I don't know, man. Like, I got to be in just the right mood for that. Like, I've got to be in the mood for that. And I'm kind of not really right now in the mood to do any progressive stuff. But maybe soon. Maybe soon. Primer prices make you want to puke. It's getting rough. It's getting really rough. Chickens are doing good. Getting 4 or 5 eggs every day. And I'll have a video up on my second channel some point this week. Just give a little chicken update. They're doing good and settling in pretty well to their new coop and run and all that junk. Hoping to see more 7.62 by 39 in the future. Yeah, there definitely will be. Probably a little bit more with the SKS, but then again, maybe not. You know, I'll probably end up. Well, I mean, long ago, I've kind of committed that I'm going to get a 7.62 by 39 bolt gun at some point. Every time I've been in the mood, which actually there was one time a few months ago, I think whenever I was just first doing the SKS videos, I went to look and see if any of the, like the Ruger American Ranches or there's a CZ everybody's always bringing up, a little bit more expensive, but that's an option, and like they're not in stock anywhere, or at least they weren't. Maybe they are. Hey Chad, thanks for that, man. Appreciate the $50. Do the new YouTube rules limit you from showing the full reloading process? No. Well, I mean, no more than they used to, because and you know that discussion always gets complicated about the rules we're talking about for like the basic community guidelines that are what you can and can't put on the site, and then the monetization guidelines of what you can and can't monetize. They're really pretty close when it comes to us. And there was language for the last several years in the terms of service that restricted ammunition manufacturing, which, you know, very vague. Are they talking about hobby reloading, or what are they even talking about? No one knew what they were talking about, and I expected to be banned at any time and still expect to be banned at any time. But that specific line is gone now, or it's changed a little bit that makes it a little bit worse. Like it used to be, actually, hold on, might be able to pull it up and show you. I don't know. I could. I would need to start uploading something for it to come up, and then that would kill the stream. So, but yeah, I'm no more worried right now than I used to be about what's going to happen. Which doesn't mean I'm comfortable. It just means I don't see anything in the new updated rules that is any worse for me than it used to be. Got a couple Kens from Texas. I know a Ken from Texas. Are any of you the Ken from Texas that knows me? The one and only really likes his Ruger Ranch in 7.62 by 39. Shoots a bit over 1 inch with Tula. I've heard good things about him, you know, and I love the threaded barrels and all that stuff. CZ527 has been discontinued. May not be able to find one. Yeah. Try HB into bullet coating. I've got some bullet coating that someone sent me. I need to look, and yeah, that's coming, and it's yeah, HBN is what I've got. I've been kind of trying to figure out the right way to do it, right? I mean, it's almost it's supposed to be a barrel treatment more than anything, right? It's not necessarily when you coat all of your bullets. You can coat a batch and then shoot them through, and then that's some sort of lasting protection from the barrel for a little while. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I kind of like that's been the challenge, is coming up with how do I come up with a test that I can complete in a reasonable amount of time and make a video out of that kind of shows it off and shows anything. I don't know that there's necessarily changes on target that we're going to be able to see, just coated versus non-coated, especially with, like I was saying, where it's almost a barrel coating that clings on. So I don't know. I'm still trying to come up with a way to way to test that without shooting 5,000 rounds and shooting a whole barrel out. Need to work up a 223 load for Hornady, 55 grain, 55 and 60 grains. Only powder you have is Alliant 1200R. They don't have good data. Any ideas? Use H322 data. Nah, like that's very fast, man. Uh, I mean, you'll probably be okay. Like it can work, but hopefully you're not talking about an AR that you want to cycle. I'm afraid that might be too. Yeah, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. Is this a? Is it an AR? I guess is the first question. And if it is an AR, is it a pistol with pistol gas and all of that that might actually run with the Alliant 1200R? Hmm. Yeah, that's I'm trying to remember exactly where. Pardon me, while I just look something up. Trying to remember where 1200R was in relationship to like 300 MP. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe I was thinking 300 MP. It does look like 1200R. Made for high volume shooters who burn through 223 ammunition at the range. Propellant is specifically formed. I guess I could show you guys my browser window. I do have that technology available at my fingertips. Let's see, window capture. Is that the right one? Yeah, there we go. Made for high volume shooting. Yeah. So usually, what I'll end up doing, I go to the Alliance site and look at the powder page for that powder, and then come down to where it says view all of the recipes for that powder. And then that kind of gives me an idea of what I'm looking at. Okay, 22, 250, 20. Yeah, that just knowing what cartridges they have load data for can be illuminating at times. So let's see, 223. There is 55 grain 223 data right there. Max charge 22.9. Be honest, you never looked this up, did you? You checked like one manual and gave up. But yeah, there you go. There's you some load data. That was easy. Let's go to the next one. Lapua has brass 762 by 39 if you want to be out $90 for 100. I got a pretty good stockpile of brass, but speaking of Lapua, did you guys see they released 300 Winchester Magnum brass the other day? Forget where I even saw that, but saw it pop up and oh, it was one of the retailers had sent me an email saying it was in stock. That's pretty cool. Sean has an idea to stop people requesting things. Publish the list of videos you and to do already, but we'll never get around to. Yeah, yeah. Like if you didn't catch yesterday's video and you're throwing out a recommendation, you might not realize I am a huge flake and will never do 90% of the things I'm talking about. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to get around to that almost immediately. Check back in a couple years. I might have gotten around to it. Oh, Jim's late. working in the reloading room, making ammo. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out. I think this is going to be good. I think these Monday chats will be a good thing. So one thing I'd like to do, and I guess we could do it right now, is on these Monday streams, just go back and review some comments from the previous video. And let's see if I can. And we won't count the channel update video. Any comments I need to... No, I don't think so. Maybe we got a minute. But the video before, where I was shooting the monopod and all of that crap, it's been a few days since I've checked the comments. So let's go through and see what people have to say. Your experience with monopods: they dig into the ground when shooting prone, changing point of impact. I prefer a rear bag, more consistent recoil. That's one thing which, if you didn't come away from that video thinking it, then I just didn't do a good job. Like, my prone position was totally awful. Like, I was way too low to the ground. And like I was talking, I really needed to get the buttstock up into my shoulder pocket, and I needed to extend my bipod and just get up off the ground where I was going to be comfortable. So where I switched to the monopod and things were much better, that was compared with a totally incorrect bag setup, right? So under any circumstances, I would say prone, bench, standing on your head, a proper set of bags for the setup is always going to be the best. Always. And yeah, so I really liked the monopod. It did a great job. It was much more capable than I expected. I just wasn't expecting much out of it. But whenever I got into that position where I don't have the right setup, it was better than the crappy stuff I had. So my thought about it is, which would be better for just your average guy who's shooting over laying his front rest on a backpack or something, or doesn't have the full-blown, perfectly suited for that gun sort of bag setup, then a monopod might be better than the crappy bags or an incorrect rear bag, which is what happened to me. The monopod worked better than my incorrect rear bag setup, but a correct bag setup would have always been better. So Corey here brought up the parallax error of the optic. Even high-end optics will have some degree of parallax error. His loophole Mark IV comes to mind. I'm very careful to set my focus and parallax and stuff. Just moving my head around the eye box and making sure that things seem to be tracking together. So yeah, if it's because of parallax error, I don't think it's necessarily because of I didn't adjust it right. But with that scope, even when you have it set up right and you go towards the edge of that eye box, there's definitely some, distortion. Things start to look a little bit weird. But the crosshair and the dot that the dot I'm aiming at get weird together, right? They move together. So I've always thought, well, that's good enough, even if I do get it off toward the edge of the eye box and things are maybe starting to get a little funky. They're getting funky, at the crosshair and the target at the same time. I don't know, but something was clearly causing that, and that's as good an idea as anything else. Because yeah, I just don't know. Bolt Action Reloading wishing us a Merry Christmas. Has he shown up? Chat moves pretty quick. Hard to keep up with who's here and who's not. Proper set of bags as you're behind. Yeah, comfortability behind a rifle always leads to accuracy in front of it. Definitely. And that's always kind of my, like, what's going through my head, relaxing as many muscles as I can and trying to get into a relaxed position that feels solid. Need to get my body more in line with the rifle in the prone position. You couldn't even see my legs. Shut up. You don't know how far apart my legs were. Maybe I was doing the splits and you were seeing my right hand leg and my left hand leg was actually 90 degrees the other way. Is there even a modded? Oh, do we have people? Are people being bad? Bolt action reloading was late. I think he's a moderator. If he wasn't before, he is now. Anybody else want to be a moderator? No really parallax error on a fixed parallax scope. The error is not that big, even at 1,000. You'll still be able to put down a proper group. Really? Because man, I got some scopes where it's usually the shorter range stuff with like a 50-yard or 100-yard preset parallax, where especially close, like the error gets bad. I've never really, I guess, used a fixed parallax scope that was worth a damn. It's never too late to show up. Good point. You have to learn to mod. No, just, if you see something, if you see people being mean, then ban them. Banned. Tips on finding primers. Last time I saw somebody ask, somebody mentioned that the reloading Discord has a place, and I guess they'll, yeah, I don't know if somebody got an email sort of deal set up, or if it's just a Discord notification message of some sort every time a post is made in their primer section or something. So yeah, troll around Discord, and that might get you where you want to be. Any interest in looking at 5.7 by 28? Reloading info is lacking. Man, I'm interested in everything. Like, I don't have a gun, I don't have any of the things, and I've just got too many other things that, like, I've got two 243 bolt action rifles, two of them, and I haven't made a single video. 243 would be popular. People would watch. It would grow the channel, and I haven't managed to make it. So, like, I've just got too much on my plate right now. Need to get to the point where we're bored with what I've got before I go looking for too much more stuff, to be honest with you. 41s are in stock at Midway and 99 bucks. Yeah, I saw somebody, I went live on Twitch for a few minutes to check my setup, and somebody mentioned it over there. Wow, Cabela's in Columbus, Ohio, had three different primers on the shelf last week. That's good news, man. Maybe that'll be a trend. Maybe they've finally priced them high enough to where everybody's fed up and won't buy them anymore. How to mimic 300 PRC out of a 300 Win Mag. Actually, speaking of PRC, so I've got that 6.5 PRC barrel that I need to put in the Savage as well at some point. I need to go ahead and order, or I guess, yeah, I need to get a set of go no go gauges. Is there anything I should know about, like, just what, go to Brownells and buy a set? Is that pretty much how you do it? That Krieger M110 barrel's fire, you dude, it's awesome. That thing is awesome. Vortex had a podcast on parallax where they ran the math on parallax error. Let's check that out. Hey, Big Tree, good to see you, man. Looking forward to some 243 stuff. Yeah, me too. And actually, speaking of, I've got three 243s. I've got a little a youth model. Oh, it was one of those combo, like 199 combo jobs where it comes with a 243 barrel and a 410 or 20 gauge barrel that uh, my nephews had shot, and it just shoots awful, like awful, 50-yard accuracy. And I had grabbed it from, yeah, I had grabbed it from them to see if I could maybe reload something out of it. So maybe, so yeah, three different 243s and lots of topics to get into there. So between that, the 6.5 PRC, which I think will be fun to mess around with a little bit, all the 300 Win Mag stuff that's still on the table. Just like I've got so many things I can't, like, they're not even coming to mind right now. We've got so many projects to catch up on. What was the 6.5 PRC question? Just, it was more of a general question about go no go gauges. Like, is there anything interest? Is there anything specific I need to know, or just buy whatever 6.5 PRC gauges are being sold over at Brownells or whatever, wherever it's cheapest? Rossi, yeah, I think it was a Rossi. Fin Feather Fur in Ohio might have them. Man, I love that place. I used to work up in Cleveland a lot. Every time I'd go up there, I'd hit both of the, what is it, the one in Mansfield and then the other up in Cleveland. I'd hit them both. They always had a really nice stock of powder and stuff as we were coming out of that. The last big shortages of 2013. Somebody was asking me in the comments of yesterday's video where I get powder. Like, man, most of this stuff is old. Like this bottle of AR comp comes from the reaction to the 2013 shortage, which you guys can't even see what I'm talking about because I've got window. Yeah, there. That out of focus bottle of AR comp. Where's my focus dot? There it is. I guess I've got it over here. That must be what's going on. Let's move that over to there a little bit. Focus, focus, focus. Oh, smooth. Very smooth. All right. Bill, you built Thin Feather Fur's website, really? Favorite 243 powders: H335, 4166, Varget, N140. A lot of the, yeah, pretty common powders, right? I've never had much luck with 4166, and I've got plenty of it. So I've been meaning to revisit that powder and just see if I can get something figured out. What twist rates on the 243s? I don't even know. I've got to look. One of them is a Remington. I can't remember if it's an ADL or BDL 700. And then the other is an old pre 64 Winchester Model 70. There's no clue on the twist rates. I'd have to look in the notes. My grandfather kept good notes on both guns, so should be able to find out pretty easy. I think one of them is the, yeah, the Remington is the Varmint Special. I think it's got it, but the bull barrel Varmint Special or a Varmint barrel, heavy barrel Varmint Special. Northland Shooter Supply can hook you up on. Okay, yeah, I've seen that that place as well. Fin Feather Fur had an 8-pound Reloader 26 for 499 bucks. Wow, that is crazy. And actually, speaking of that, I don't remember where it came in stock. Where did my yeah, there it is. Man, went without Reloader 26 for a long time, but got lucky and got in on one of the availabilities a while back. Want to get back to working with it and several other things as well. Do I date my bottles of powder? Sometimes, like, man, that's really something I should come up with a standard system for because I think so. Yeah, no, I don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I should do it all the time. Have I had any issues with PPU brass? We used some PPU not that long ago. I'm trying to remember which cartridge I've got some PPU in. I think most of the PPU I've used has been recovered from factory ammo, just reloading and reloading factory brass, and I've never had any problems with it. Just don't have a lot of experience with it. What is the Discord you're talking about? Finding primers? I think it's the people call it the reloading Discord. I think it's from Reddit. So like the guns or the reloading subreddit, maybe. Yeah, the pre 64 Winchester is really really nice, and or actually no, good grief, I'm losing my marbles. No, the pre 64 Winchester is the 25-06. I got so many guns I can't even keep them straight. So yeah, that one's in 25-06, and that used to be a 22 or it used to be a 220 Swift. So yeah, with that pre 64, what I want to do is shoot some 25-06 just for the heck of it, because people have asked over the years if I'd do it, and I've got a gun, might as well make a few videos. But once that's done, I want to put a 220 Swift barrel back on it and kind of put it back into the configuration that I knew it as. Yeah, it's one of my grandfather's favorite groundhog hunting guns, and it was always 220 Swift. But 220 Swift barrels do not last. So once it got shot out, I think he was old enough. He knew that it might as well just put the barrel that, well, whenever he had bought it, it had that 25-06 barrel on it. So he just put that back on there and called it good enough. Run 22 and a half grains of 4166 behind 60 grain V Maxes. They shoot half inch all day. Yeah, I need to revisit it. Jeremy there saying his 6.5 loves 4166 with light bullets. I'll have to give it another shot. You can buy a go no go, or just a go gauge and scotch tape to make the no go. Yeah, I thought about that. It seems like the last time I was looking at them, though, most of them were kits with both. I'll just have to go out and see what's on the market. They're not terribly expensive, right? It's 40 or 50 bucks or 30 bucks or something in that neighborhood. What's my favorite barrel maker? Well, I obviously love white oak armament. So usually, if white oak chambers a barrel that's going to work in my application, that's what I'm going to buy. So with the 308 AR-10, it's hard to argue against that Krieger. So love the Krieger barrels. Want to try more of them someday. Had several, like most of my barrel experience here is in ARs. So yeah, I got a couple Odinworks that are good shooters. But check White Oak first. All right, I've missed like 15 super chats, I think. Let me look and see. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that very much. Couple new channel members. There's Brad. Let's see, I need to go back to my other interface so I can see what. Yeah, Andrew, thank you very much. Moss Ranch Outdoors, thank you. Thin Brown Duke with the new membership. Appreciate that. So sorry if I missed those. It's been months since I streamed, man. Whew. I forgot how hectic this is. A lot going on. Too many different interfaces to try and follow. Watch out looking for reloading supplies. I've seen a lot of scammers. Yeah, it's been a while. I think it was about whenever I had quit streaming. There was one particular website that had just a full list of everything's available, and it was just a scam. Reloading scammers do not take credit cards. Let's see. Let me go back and actually, I need to bring my window back up. Let's go through some more comments. Joey here says he shoots ELR for fun, uses the same monopod. Finds it both easier and more effective to actively hold and adjust the back of the rifle with your left while shooting. No bag, no bipod. Oh, okay, kind of like hang on, gotta get rid of the wind. There it is. Where'd my monopod go? I just saw it here. It's somewhere. Sit there. Where is it? It's right here. Somewhere. It's gotta be. I just had my eyeballs on it. Hang on one second. Oh, bull crap. All right, this is going to bug me. I just had it. I just had it. Yeah, whatever, I guess. But all right, let's imagine this slide is the monopod dangling. I guess he's saying like kind of like this, and then adjust it like that or something. That kind of makes sense. Like I think I get what he's talking about. It says it's surprisingly comfortable and gives an additional contact point with your rifle. The game's best guess is assume the force on the bipod and front rest. Yeah. Am I in? Why are these not sorting by? It's so weird how YouTube sorts comments these days. Like even comments with lots of thumbs up don't seem to really rise to the top. There's Aaron. Let's see what he's got to say. The shift down and also more vertical group from the bipod is fairly normal. When you load the bipod, you're putting tension on the rail upper and will pull your shots down. Something I have really have to pay attention to when shooting is long range AR with Geisley rail. That's kind of my thought as well. Like I mean, it should be easy enough to test. Like it'll be hard to test like precisely, but just doing a loaded versus unloaded test and trying your best to load about the same amount should be enough to show the problem, right? I mean, you got to think like how isn't that a huge problem with like PRS or something where you're kind of all over the place, right? Bipod sometimes, other times not the bipod. Sometimes you're up against a barrier, other times you're not. Seems like varying bipod uh, forces causing vertical stringing would be a bit of an issue. The spikes are not good for repeated shots. Literally dig holes. The feet with claws work better for repeating shots. Yeah, they've got a different foot that's got little, yeah, little claws is what he's talking about. Well, and that's the other thing. The bipod comes in 3 different lengths. I didn't realize that whenever I was making the video. And the one I've got is the shortest one. So there are taller ones available. Reconnection successful. Okay. Anybody hear me? Am I dead in the water? Am I still streaming? Looks okay. All right. Well, hopefully, if it went out, it didn't go out too long. Lost me for a couple seconds. Okay, good. Yeah, I saw somebody mention there's no links. Yeah, we got to be careful about what we link to. Like it's awful. It sucks. So like links to retailers, like don't post those if you don't mind. I can't do it in the description of my videos either. Jim mentions watch out. Reloader 26 is not temperature stable and squirrely once you get near max pressures. I'll keep an eye out. I guess most of my Reloader 26 experience at this point was like those crazy compressed loads in 6.5 Creedmoor with just astronomically absurd velocities. That was yeah, that's whenever I got to 300 Win Mag, I really wanted to work more with Reloader 26, but didn't have any. So now that I've got that big jug, I want to try it out. I'll definitely I need to that's something I'd really like to get back and test some more is some temperature stability. Yeah, check temperature stability with some powders. Like I bought several different little heaters and temperature controllers and stuff like a year and a half ago to do some additional testing. And I want to get back to it. I'll have to be sure and test Reloader 26. If you're loading the yeah, thanks Yeti for the reply here. If you're loading the bipod, there's no effect on shot group. You can induce a miss by laying a barrel on a barricade, but if you're utilizing a free floating barrel, you can't induce a miss with bipod. Well, I guess yeah. I mean I totally get where you're saying, like what you're saying, and I believe you. But it seems like it makes an effect. I guess I've just got to test it. I got to figure out where it's coming from. I'm definitely suspicious about the optic. And it was just, like I said, in that horrifically bad prone position where my head position and my eye position wasn't just quite right. I'm definitely thinking that parallax with the optics is maybe just as likely. Reloader 26 is temp stable to a degree. Now Reloader 25 is a different story. Another one I want to try is N555. I'm curious what the stability numbers like that on that thing will look like. Is it going to be comparable to something like H4350? I doubt it. Just being so Vitivory N555 is a double base powder, I think, like Reloader 16. So, yeah, I don't know. The wording on the website, on the Vitivory website, is a little bit weird on N555, and they talk about it being the most temperature stable in its class. And it's like, okay, what's its class? Is its class double base powders? Is its class extruded powders? Is its class Creedmoor powders? I don't know. They don't get into specifics. Lots of things to test there. Can't find N555. Yeah, I got lucky and got a couple pounds. It's hard to find anything. Has that Reloader TS 15.5 hit the market anymore? There was one little piddle fart of a release that they put out, and a few people got some, but yeah, N555 definitely is double based. Yeah, definitely. The N500 class. So what about some Reloader 15.5? That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's out on the market yet. I need to read a cheek weld comment. Okay, let me get back to the comments. Let's keep on looking through the comments. Tony mentions that the way impact change was explained to him, compared to shooting a bow, you change your anchor point, impact will change. If you change your impact or change your anchor point, your impact point will change. Just as changing shooting positions, your 3 points of contact changes. That's kind of like I get where he's coming from, and he's absolutely right. But that kind of falls apart where pretty much any modern bow is going to use a peep sight. So there's a fixed point in the string that's indexed to your eye, just like, a scope. And its eye relief and its eye box and stuff kind of determines roughly where your eye is going to go. Kind of the similar thing with the bow. So I could absolutely switch anchor points, keep the draw length the same and all that, and keep roughly a point of impact. But like, it's a good point, but it's, yeah, I don't even know why I tried to shoot holes in it. It's a good point. Yeah, if you move your anchor point, you definitely are going to change. Assuming that actually moves the yeah, like your knocking point. Loading the bipod, yeah. So Super J mentions loading the bipod places stress on the receiver due to the nature of contact with the rail traditional barrel nut interface. It's very common to have an AR barrel to shoot low if you load the bipod too much. Gotten to where I don't want to load the bipod, but pull the rifle into your shoulder when prone so that there is no point of impact shift. I do this because there's no way to load the bipod and rail when shooting from barricades, and as a result, there's no point of impact. Yeah, exactly what I was curious about a minute ago. Like, how is this not a huge problem in competition? Try pulling the rifle into your shoulder and not applying too much load on the bipod. The point of impact shift should go away. Yeah, and I guess that comes down, well, and you think about my problems with doubling and stuff. I'm open to changing my grip, right? I'm definitely open to working on my grip. But I don't know if like doing like I need a lower. Hold on. Stand by. Okay, never mind. I don't have a lower up here. But yeah, I get where he's coming from. But man, that would be a lot of force on the grip. And it seems like the grip, yeah, that'd be, you'd have to watch yourself. You'd have to, that would take some practice to get a, yeah. But there's another vote for bipod loading causing it. And it's just bizarre because like that gun in particular is the Aero Precision M5E1 upper set. So it's the, yeah, you'd have to go look and see what I'm talking about, I guess, but it's not a traditional connection between the rail and the upper. It's this integrated, supposed to be like a monolithic upper sort of interface where the barrel nut, like, I don't understand how loading could get to the barrel nut or put forces on the barrel. It's a little, it's a genuine mystery we got on our hands here. Yeah, Big Al mentions seeing the same thing, and um, he just re-zeros for the day. What's better? Yeah, Derek says, what's better? In my opinion, it depends on the quality of bags and bipods, and front rests. If money is no question, then the F class setup is probably the best. I don't even know what the F class setup is. I've seen those big, like, freaking scaffolding looking bipods that they've used. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, or I don't really know anything about those. And even, yeah, I don't even know, maybe somebody will mention it, but even like my rear bag, totally and completely inappropriate for the usage. Check it, get rid of this. Right. So normally, your shoulder is this way, and a traditionally shaped stock comes back here, and it's actually, with I always want to call them Monte Carlo stocks, but that's not what, like a traditional shaped standard hunting rifle stock that is going to come down here. You just move the gun forward and back, and get your vertical adjustments. But with that, uh, yeah, so with that Magpul PRS stock, I run it this way just because the butt of the stock is right here, and with it this way, there's just too much. You can't get your shoulder up to it without bumping into this. So I guess, kind of like I mentioned earlier, it really all comes down to bags, of course, are always better. And in especially in my prone position, I was just in a really, really bad place with inappropriate bags. So it almost, I guess you got to just consider the audience, I guess. If somebody's like average Joe isn't going to buy some, collection of bags to fit every rifle just right. He just has something to keep around, shoot groups and sight in his gun every once in a while. A monopod, I guess, is my whole point here, or my whole opinion here, is that a monopod is better than a really, really bad bag setup, rear bag setup. It's just because of its adjustability and all of that. And I managed to shoot some groups I was happy with it. And at the very, and I'm not saying it's something everybody should own and I'm going to have one dangling off all of my guns. I'm mainly just saying, like, if you've been making fun of your buddy because he's got a, vertical aft penis hanging off of his gun, maybe quit making fun of him. Maybe it works for him. A good group can be shot with a monopod. All right, back to there. They are predetermined height, but you can extend legs forward or back and extend to get the height in between. Yeah, that's a good point. Somebody else brought that up. Like, why don't I go to 45-degree or whatever? Swing the legs forward. And I haven't shot that way much, but just like my first, I didn't even consider it because, well, for one thing, that would get me lower to the ground, and I didn't want to be lower. I was wanting to get up, but just thinking about shooting a bipod that way, which let me get my screen back up here. Yeah, so, instead of shooting a bipod like this and loading it and having it kind of rock like this, if it's like this, whenever you go to load it, does it not like rise up? Do you not have like vertical problems, stability issues when trying to load a bipod with the legs extended forward? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, where if it's straight up, you're mainly, I guess it would be, it would be a slight dip. Yeah, I don't know. I'm talking myself in circles here, but yeah, maybe there was a good valid setup there if I just knew more about the bipod, knew more how to set up a bipod properly. And if I would have swung them out and done some more adjusting, maybe I'd have been right there. I'm not sure. If that's the case, I don't know. I don't know how. But I don't claim to know very much. Black Horse had asked, where did the second round of my double hit? It didn't hit my camera, which thank God. And it didn't hit my, let's see, let me show you guys this. I just bought this the other day. I probably ought to show it off. Well, not the other day, a couple weeks ago. But I got this. This is a, there it is. There it turns on. So this is like an HDMI monitor. So like that camera that I'm thinking, or I'm pointing at right now, I could feed the HDMI into this, and it, I could see it. So that's going to be really good for whenever I'm recording here on the bench, because the view screen on that camera is a pain in the butt to see, and I've always got to stretch my neck around the back, so I can just have this sitting on the bench pointing right at me and keep track of what's going on. But most importantly, what it's going to be about is I can set this down range. I can actually point it towards me so I can see it in my scope, and I can track that I'm still recording, that, my batteries haven't died, that, or, or if maybe I'm not zeroed right where I want, or I have an unexpected shot that goes a little bit off. I might actually be able to even see whether I still have it on screen. Maybe I need to stop, run down range, adjust my camera, all of that. But the most important thing is that it uses SATA drives for storage. So no more of the memory cards, the micro SD cards, which I've had issues with over the years, and a lot more, you know, well, you can get memory cards any size you want, I guess, or whatever, but large storage SSDs are a lot cheaper. So this is going to be able to hold tons and tons of information, and it's going to help help it with the target camera, because everybody loves the target camera, and I love the target camera too, and I'm glad it's back, and this is going to make that a whole lot easier. Because I'll tell you, the situation I was in is the camera I had always used as a target camera was having malfunctions, and it was exactly that. It was writing data to the memory cards. It kept having problems, so I couldn't film with it anymore. And I think that goes back to whenever I bought Shot Marker. It was kind of either am I going to buy a new camera, or should I just go ahead and invest on Shot Marker? And then, yeah, you know how that went. But then this was cheaper than a camera and gives me a lot more functionality. So thank you, Patreon supporters, man. This is where the money goes, right here. Or at least some of it. So yeah, Merry Christmas to me. Thank you to my Patreon supporter. All right, where'd we stop off here? There it is. Hey, Preacher's Day Off stopped by. How's it going, man? Good to see everybody. Lots and lots and lots of familiar names. Glad you guys could stop by. But yeah, the double hit, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where it went. Victor asks, why don't I try a rear bag base that's adjustable? Lots of ELR shooters use them. Well, to be honest, I don't even know what they look like. Let's see. Let's see if we can. Actually, hold on one second. Let me try and see if I can see what one of these looks like. First one coming up here is some sort of an adjustable bag rider. Is that what you reckon that guy was talking about? Let me go back and see. Yeah, he just mentions ELR shooters. Yeah, I assume it's maybe something like that. Like, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I'm liking it. Looks like it would only be $4 or $5 million. Let's see, where are we at? Shop. MDT. I wonder if there's one for. Yeah, I don't know. But what did I? That's the bag. I saw $50. There's no way they're $50. ABR plus recoil plate bundle. $277. That's not the worst. Yeah, so I guess yeah, those options are out there, I reckon. Too many windows here. I need my second monitor going here. Hey, what's up, Tim? Good to see you, man. Ah, Bolt Action Reloading has the rear adjustable one from Mark and Sam after work. I didn't know they sold one. That's pretty cool. Can I fix my focus? The screen is blurry? No, probably not. I do need to. Let me see. So I've been trying to mess with my settings. My internet's a little bit faster than it was in the past whenever I was reloading or whenever I was live streaming. But I still don't have. So, like, the max quality you're going to see is 720 or resolution. The max resolution you're going to see is 720. I was able to up the bit rate a little bit. So it may be one of those things where I'll need to watch the playback probably to get an idea of what it looks like and then adjust from there. I may need to go back to a 480 resolution and then up the bit rate. So, the resolution is going to be crap, but at least we'll have bit rate enough to where things won't be blurry. It's a problem. Or let me turn on the other camera. Yeah, so like there's the web camera. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to watch the replay and see just how bad it is. Keep going to this wrong. I don't know. Yeah, that's good. Here we go. Fab Defense has a rear butt plate with a built-in monopod. Works great for me. Cool. I've actually got a couple bag riders I need to test. So my Savage, I put a bag rider on it, and I put a 3D printed bag rider on the Oryx chassis for the 6.5 Creedmoor. Haven't shot either one since I bought those. There's Will here telling us that it's known that shooting from bags versus bipod changes point of impact, something to do with the rigidity of the setup. Mm, I'm getting more and more interested. I'd like to. Yeah, so it's got me wondering. So, is there a difference between a loaded bipod and a four-end stop? So, can I load or not load against my four-end stop and see the same changes? I don't know. That's well, like I had mentioned in that video, I try to keep a good amount of shoulder into pretty much all of the guns I shoot. So whether it is the bipod or the 4-inch stop, I've usually got some weight behind it. Interesting. It's got me curious. Hey, like every time these problems come up, I always go back to like where in the hell are all of the actual gun channels on YouTube? Like I want to move on and reload stuff. Like I always get stuck in these freaking videos about shooting and guns. I don't even really like shooting and guns. I like reloading. I go shooting to empty the brass and so I can do it again or see if I was successful. It does seem like yeah, I don't know. Infamous Tactical also. POI shift is due to preload or too much preload. I understand what you're trying to, why you're trying to load it, but more input and pressure equals point of impact shift. It's a whole lot of people confirming it. So somebody was talking about my cheek weld. I'm trying to find that one comment. If you look at the bump fire situation here, this is Infamous Tactical. I think he was the one who, yeah, the same person as the last comment says if I look at the bump fire situation, also see I'm putting too much forward pressure on the gun. If you look at most disciplines these days, guys use thumb blocks and as little pressure as possible on the grip. Again, trying to impart as little shooter into the rifle as possible. It is interesting to see that much point of impact shift though. Yep. So, and this all kind of goes back to where, I was talking about the 4 or 5 pound trigger that's in that gun, and there's just a whole different set of requirements, expectations, and a list of what works is very different between a bench rest rifle with a 2 ounce trigger and kind of a real world standard everyday average Joe gun. And I run into that sometimes. There's something I want to get better at as far as shooting, or maybe I'm looking into something, and then I realize like all these people are talking about equipment I don't have or that isn't appropriate for my situation. Like I don't want to put a whole F class rig on something and get a 2 ounce trigger. Like I want to, so I guess that's what I'm trying to maybe translate here. And actually, it goes for a lot of the reloading and stuff that I do, and trying to figure out where we get a lot of recommendations, kind of as average Joe shooters. We get a lot of recommendations coming down from on high, from different uh, competition disciplines and stuff, and sometimes those people lose touch with our reality. I think so sometimes it's hard to translate what really applies to you and what doesn't. I'm trying to think how too much load could affect the bump fire situation. I guess that's what pushes the gun forward after the shot and into the trigger finger. So yeah, I mean I definitely do it wrong. So hey, there's JH586. Saw him in the comments a few minutes ago. There he is. Stop. Now I messed up. Lost my spot. It's worth it just to say Merry Christmas and how you doing to JH586. Because I could go back to chat here and try and keep up. Fill an old pillowcase with some sweatshirts and try out a squishy rear bag. And I have, lots of times over the years, just, farting around, plinking stuff using kind of thrown together bag setups. That might be fun, like pillowcase and a backpack. How good of a group could I shoot? Hey there, buyer boys. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Brandon says, I agree. We the average work with different tools. Still get blown away by the groups you print with freaking gas guns. I mean, I guess that's the yeah, that's the goal. Maybe that's yeah, I don't know. Kyle prefers to practice like you'll actually shoot in the woods. Am I going to be able to preload the rifle into a rest or bipod? Usually, no. Yeah, very true. Six arc or 6.5 Grindle for deer. Either one. Both would be pretty good choice to make the AR platform into a deer hunting rifle. I haven't I haven't personally killed any deer with the 6 arc, but got a couple with the 6.5 Grindle last year, and it did a pretty good job. Reloading vids are more exciting than people arguing about how to shoot. I got to be honest, I'm surprised I don't take more heat on my shooting because there's a lot of stuff I do that is just not right and not very good. So I definitely deserve more flack than I get. Hey Tim, thanks a lot, man. Have a good night. Do I use H414 in any of my loadings? I've got a can of it. It's not. It's like the slower ball powders. I just never seem to shoot them much. Like all of the cartridges I shoot with that kind of class of powders, that area of the burn rate, I'm always ending up with extruded powders, and I guess that's because of some vague notion of temperature stability, I guess. But I don't know. Is this replay going to be uploaded? Yes, this one. Well, so like that. Actually, I'd made a channel for my Twitch VODs. They call them like the re-uploads of that. But that channel, I'm just going to delete it. I'm not going to use it anymore. But here on YouTube, it'll automatically create a VOD and it'll be permanent. So it's not like Twitch where the VODs only last 2 weeks and then they disappear on their own. This will this will be saved and available to go back and rewatch, definitely. And I've got it set up to where it should show the chat, the chat as it happened as you're watching it, because yeah, that's an option. You can choose whether or not to do that, and I've got that enabled, so should be able to come back and watch later. Hey, appreciate that, LA Guns. Thanks very much. There you go. Jim's had good luck with H414 Winchester 760 in 243. How many bad groups can we blame on that wasted can you were using? As many as you want, brother. Appreciate that, by the way. And to be honest, like, so back on Twitch at some point, we had, like, why do I don't have anything up here? I had the suppressor up here. I had my monopod up here. I don't know where any of it's gone. But yeah, so I've known about that damage in the suppressor for a while. And I think we looked at it on Twitch one day. But I've been keeping my mouth shut because I didn't have another one to shoot. So it's not like I could, like, oh, okay, this is a problem. I'll just stop using it. It didn't seem to be causing consistent problems. But yes, some of those really weird shots that, we got crazy flyers, absolutely, definitely could have been the that suppressor coming apart. Which that's actually the plan of the video I was supposed to put up yesterday was cleaning that suppressor. That's why I've got crap parts, got a pile of, hang on, I need to go back and, yeah, all of that, if I can get it to focus. There it is. Yeah, all of that crap in there came out of there. And I've been trying different solvents and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was definitely a problem, but I don't think it was a huge problem. Ever think about doing muzzleloader videos? I mean, yes, yes. And I'll just leave it there. Yeah, maybe one day you'll see me doing some muzzleloader videos. G23 asks, what live streaming service am I using? This is just OBS, Streamlabs OBS. Or no, it's not. It's not Streamlabs. It's the Stream Elements. I always forget that name. But yeah, I'm using Stream Elements OBS and just uploading directly to YouTube. Geography Nerd has had a much better success with a firm grip pulling into the shoulder and light to moderate preload than the minimal input free recoil. That minimal input only works on bench guns and rimfires. I'll definitely have to try that. Like I don't think I've ever really tried that. I don't have a lot of bipod experience, and yeah, that seems interesting. I'll tell you what this has got me thinking of. So, like the sling support disciplines, the folks who shoot sling support, is it also like if you don't keep your sling pressure the same, you can, actually, whichever, I guess it would depend on how your sling is connected to the rifle, but do they also have point of impact shift issues if they're not consistent with positional weight? Or maybe in that game it's just not quite as precise as the bench rest stuff and it doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm just wondering because you use StreamYard. Yeah, I think I've tried StreamYard. Isn't that's the one people use whenever they're doing like group stuff, I think. Is that the right one? And it's got the little uh yeah, got the little Streamlabs symbol in the corner or something if you don't pay them money. How do you become a member? Don't have a join button. I don't know. I think it's country by country. Are you in the US or are you somewhere else? Free recoil needs light triggers. Yeah. And I guess that's I'm not even sure how to yeah, all this stuff's crazy, man. It takes me a minute to wrap my head around even the basic forces involved and how you could change. Yes, on sling support issues with shift when tension is not consistent. Interesting. Interesting. Best AR-10 6.5 Creedmoor barrels. Now, it's a downright shame that I would say this after, if you saw those last videos where we were shooting that 130 grain uh, burger, which I've got more of. Somebody sent me more of those, by the way. Those groups were crazy out of that ballistic advantage barrel. So, yeah. Ballistic Advantage barrels did a very good job with that one. But I think if I was really really concerned about accuracy, I would probably just get a Krieger. I think Krieger chambers them in Creedmoor as well. Can't imagine they don't. Yes, you're in the U.S. and you're not seeing the join button, huh? Yeah, I think like any. Let me go back here and unhide that, and whoop, not that. There we are. But yeah, like up here. Yeah, it should be right there. All right, let me see if I can find this cheek weld comment I was after. I'll start skipping over the bipod forces comments because I think we've yeah we've beaten that dead horse quite enough. I think there's definitely something there, and I'm definitely interested to test it. I think I've seen most of these already. Yeah, there's another person with a similar comment to that other one I read before. Yeah, Manuel says he uses the monopod adjusted all the way up, holding it in his gloved hand, NRA type hand. Yeah, or in his gloved NRA type gloved hand. Feels better than placing it on the ground. Yeah, I think that's that same sort of technique I was talking about a few minutes ago. I'll have to give that a shot. It might, especially for hasty setups, the a hunting setup or something. That might be a good hasty setup. Aaron from Winchester asks, "Do I know of any ranges in eastern Kentucky that has distances past 200 yards?" Yes, there is the Northeast Kentucky Fish and Game Association in Ashland, Kentucky, and I was a member there for a while. And at the time, they have a 400-yard range, I think it was. It's a big place. They've got a bunch of ranges, plus a bunch of archery stuff, indoor archery. Like it's a really nice, it's a nice range. But at the time, like the 400-yard range, they had problems where people were shooting at the ground, and there had been some ricochets over the hill, and one of the properties a couple hills over ended up with some bullet holes in their vinyl siding on their house and whatever. So you had to have a range guy. I don't know. Yeah, they had a couple people authorized to open the range on the weekends, and at the time I wasn't working, and I was like, I want to shoot during the week, and that kind of sucked, but whatever. There was talk about them doing a longer range or building a new one. I don't know if they ever did. Plus, there was a second long range, but it was like no one could use it except the black powder cartridge or the silhouette stuff people maybe. I don't know. I think it's still the best area, the best option in the area. I think. How do I like the Caldwell front rest? Is it the pro version? Any particular reason you don't use a lead sled? Yeah, so that is the Caldwell front rest. It is the pro version, and I do like it, but mainly because I don't know any better. Like if you guys have been like the one I'm using now was my grandfather's. I had another Caldwell, the simpler, cheaper Caldwell that I had always used because yeah, it was good enough for what I needed. And the pro version is nice. It's definitely 150 times easier to adjust. And I don't know the features of more expensive options, but for head down to your local sporting goods store and pick up a front rest, if they, that's a good option. As far as, the Caldwell line of products go, does pretty good, I think. It doesn't, so I do run a protector model front bag in it, and I've got a couple of those. So I don't know what the front bag that comes with it, whether it's worth anything or not, I'm not sure. But any particular reason I don't use a lead sled? Yes. For one thing, it takes all fun out of shooting. I'd rather stick a frickin' spoon in my eyeball than go shoot with a lead sled. It's boring. Number two, I never really shot better groups with it. And number three is every screw on the gun comes loose. You shoot a lead sled more than just enough to sight in your rifle or whatever, and you're going to go home and find frickin' scope mounts loose and all sorts of garbage. So I just like the standard bags just for the enjoyment of shooting and a little less worry about everything coming loose. What suppressor cover am I using? I have an Armageddon for my Omega, and it's sliding around a lot. The one I've got, I don't even know, does Coltac still exist? Because that's what the brand it is. So Coltac. And the one I'm using is the one from my 300. I haven't bought a new suppressor cover for the 36M yet. But I probably will because, that 300 cover is not quite long enough. So there's some exposed stuff on the front and rear. Probably going to be a Mirage issue. So I probably ought to get one. Now, at the time, I don't know if their product lineup is different, but at the time I bought the like high temperature Coltac one. So it's got like a rubberized sort of cover, high temperature safe cover that goes over the suppressor, and then the cloth cover goes around that and straps down. Yeah, Wino here mentions that he likes his Harris bipod front, protector rear with adjustable mount. Have the same monopod and too much side to side flex. Planned upgrades, claw feet for Harris, better adjustable rear rest like Mark and Sam. I'll have to look at their setup. That might be something worth investing in. Sounds like it would be, especially, yeah, I don't know, depending on cost. Like, these bags aren't cheap, so if I wanted to buy a bunch more bags to fit every godforsaken gun that I own, it would almost certainly be cheaper to invest in adjustable rear rest, I guess. Unless, I think Mark and Sam after work, they generally run chassis rifles as well, right? So is their option a chassis connected butt plate replacement sort of deal, or is it a separate, like, adjustable riser for a standard bag? I'll have to look into that and see. All right, I'm about to give up. I can't find the. Okay, let's just search cheek. Scroll down. Scroll down some more. Scroll down some more. The word cheek does not even show up. Let's see if weld. Nope, not weld either. Y'all have had me on a wild goose chase. But if somebody did make fun of my horrific cheek weld, I'll agree with you. It ain't pretty. Hey, Agile Canine, thanks for the $10. I appreciate that. Get some flat leather pads and raise that way. I mean, that's kind of more or less what I've got now, with just old chunks of wood basically that my grandfather had put suede, or I don't know. I don't even know what this is. If it's doe skin, sort of, some sort of thing. He was really into building muzzleloaders and stuff as well, so he always had that sort of stuff laying around. Lyman makes an adjustable bag riser. Kyle Z here mentions that if your Armageddon gear cover is moving, you are using it wrong. It has a strong at the back to cinch down behind the can to keep it from coming off the front. Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, let me, you've got my attention with your talk of not slipping. Because the cold tack definitely, usually by the time I'm done at the range and tearing down, I realize like it's already moved and it's hanging off the front a little bit. Armageddon gear. Woo! $70 seems like a lot. And they don't even have the Omega 36M listed. Oh, there it is. Found it. Found it, found it, found it. And high temperature cover is another $10. I might not be able to play a video and keep my stream running. See how many drop frames I've had. Doesn't look like it's been too bad. Sorry if that blew everybody's ears out.
The Armageddon gear suppressor cover is a great way to reduce the mirage when shooting with a scope rifle. When the can gets hot, starts putting the mirage off, you can't see the targets. That's the purpose of this thing, is to keep the mirage out from your scope. It's not designed if you want to shoot CQB or shoot high rates of fire with like a semi-auto type rifle. It's just not what it's designed for. It's designed for precision rifle mirage mitigation. Installation of the cover on the can is very simple. Simply slide the cover on the can, making sure the channel is to the rear. And the biggest thing here, the key to proper installation, is making sure that the insulating material completely protects the cordura of the outer shell from the heat of the barrel, just like you see here. And when you cinch the shock cord down, ensure that it cinches down to the rear of the can like this, and that will ensure that the cover is not going to slide forward off of the can during recoil. When properly installed, the front of the cover should come even with or about 1/8 of an inch behind the front of the can to ensure that the muzzle blast isn't going to damage the cover while firing.
All right, that's pretty cool. That's very cool. Are those pretty good? Any of you guys got experience with those? Yeah, it looks like that Coltac company's still in business here. Let's see what they're all about real quick. Yeah, it looks like they got a bunch of different options. I hate it when, like, what the hell's the difference between them? Let me go back. HTTP. I mean, I guess that's probably closest to what I've got, or maybe this metal python. That one has buckles, and my existing one doesn't. All right, let's see. Let's see where we at. Yeah, starting at 95 bucks. Okay, I guess I'm buying a Armageddon gear. Sweet. Okay, without the high temperature, I guess it's 69.95. Definitely need the high temp. Why not? I'll have to pick one of those up. Your silencer code cover walks off your hybrid. I didn't even know silencer code made a cover. That's good to know that it has the same problem as my Coltac. Yeah, I'll give that other brand a try. Exhaust wrap is better than them blankets. Hmm. Yeah, Kyle, I don't remember Coltac being particularly expensive way back when I bought my first one. Hey, good on them. Hope their business is doing well. Hey, Jathus, good to hear you just got your first setup. Good luck. Conan says the Armageddon gear is really high quality. Polydub asked about the 300 hammer, which is every 3 minutes someone asks about 300 hammer. Um, lots and lots. 300 hammer and 350 legend. Those two seem to be really, really popular, and I don't shoot either one. But yeah, 300 hammer just has too many similarities to 300 blackout for my needs. And I'm already into 300 blackout, and I really enjoy shooting subsonics with the suppressor. And so 300 hammer, there's just too much overlap. I've got too much. Like if I need a little bit more power than 300 blackout, I've got everything else I'm into. Right? It doesn't fit any hole in my current lineup of cartridge choices. So I'd like to try it someday, maybe, but it's way down the list just because it's so similar to what I've already got going on, basically. Look at the fat bags since you're going to Armageddon. Okay, let's have a look at their fat bags. Fat bags. I could use a proper frickin' sling as well. What do their slings look like? Yeah, maybe shop. There it is. See, what was it called? Like the tea bag. Go back to the comments here. Keep going to the wrong spot. Look at the fat bags. Yeah, fat bags. Tea bag you with your fat bag. Fat. Am I missing it here? I assume it's a support bag, probably. Hey, there's a squishy rear bag. Squishy support bag is so versatile you'll find yourself using it in every way imaginable. There's a fat bag. Got a big ass size. Weapon and body support. Okay. Let's see what their video says.
A new product for Armageddon gear is the Fat Bag. The Fat Bag comes in the Fat Bag Small and a large version. The Fat Bag's used to help build a stable firing position in unsupported positions, and also be able to use it on your weapon to elevate the weapon. You need more elevation or a little bit of padding. It's 1000 denier Cordura, and it's filled with super lightweight polystyrene. A lot of guys like to run the bags like this by putting them on their arm. So our design makes it very, very easy. You can put it on extremely tight because we have extra Velcro that goes all the way across the arm and then back onto the bag. So once you got it on your arm, it's not going to come off. You can keep it like that for whatever position you need. One feature of this that makes it a lot more ergonomic is the taper design that you see from the side. If the bag were just this big all the way around, when you put it under your arm's going to kind of stick out. But with the taper design, you're getting a lot more surface area. It just helps build the position a lot more stable. Both of the fat bags are going to come with a bungee webbing and an ITW Nexus carabiner, so you can run them on your belt when you're not wanting to run them on your arm or on the rifle. A lot of shooting stages, you may shoot left-handed, you may shoot right-handed, different size barricades, and by having it on your belt, you can grab it, throw it under whichever arm you want, and the stretch allows you to move it all the way across your body, all the way up to the rifle, but still keep it real close to your body when you need it for that shooting stage.
Man, that is sweet. I don't have any use for one whatsoever, but I want to buy one. I better bookmark that site before I forget. I got to have a second monitor up next week. This is killing me. So yeah, let's see if anybody else mentioned the exhaust wrap. Look up the Weebad Fortune Cookie bag, both mini and full size. Awesome bags. Okay, we'll do that. All right, we'll look at those here in just a second. I got it pulled up. Let me catch up with chat, or try to at least a little bit. Voodoo Tactical, they also make some. Best mid-tier barrel for AR-10. Bud, I try. Like I assume you're talking 308. I don't have anything to offer you. I had no luck whatsoever until I bought a frickin' Krieger. So the only experience-based recommendation I could make is to save your pennies. Comments are from this video. Yeah, it's probably super confusing, I guess, what's going on. I should probably, I don't know, make it clear. Maybe next week. That's what I'll do. I'll try to have, like, maybe the questions I'm wanting to answer. Or I don't know. I'll think of a way to maybe make it less confusing because I'm both answering questions from the video I posted on Christmas Day and also, questions that are coming up in the chat here. So a little bit confusing, maybe. Sorry, but why do a live stream? That's a very good question. Sorry, but why do a live stream to review old comments from an old video? I don't get it. Usually people answer questions in chat live. Yes, and and I will, just like right now, I'm checking yours, but I'm mainly thinking like once this becomes normal, so video goes up on Sunday, we talk like because if you know, almost all of my videos, I'm referencing like comments from the previous video or ideas that were brought up. Especially if I'm sticking with the same topic or if we're shooting the same bullet multiple times. I'll generally take the comments from the previous video into account. And I think this might be a good way to do that because if you watch a video as soon as they come out and maybe you make your comment and move on, you're not going to go back later. You're not going to see if there was any interesting discussion in that comments of that video. So I guess that's what this is just going back to see if there's anything we need to talk about from the previous video. Usually it won't be this extensive. Like I took it a little bit too far looking for somebody making fun of my cheek weld because somebody had mentioned that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get the kinks figured out and this will make more sense as we go forward. Silencer Co's high temp suppressor covers are on 30% off sale right now. I'll have to check them out. Also recommend just header tape, exhaust wrap, mostly because your car guide have it around always, so I consider it free. But like, yeah, I'll have to look into that and see, I guess. Is it not sticky? I'm trying to remember if I've ever used header tape. You're talking about like the cloth, the Kevlar, not Kevlar, asbestos. Is that what it's made of, or impregnated with asbestos, or something similar? That, and it's almost like athletic tape. Is it kind of like athletic tape? Is that what you're talking about? I have to look. I'm not sure. I just know exactly the sort of tape we're talking about. Yeah, Kyle mentions for a mid-level AR-10 barrel that the Criterion is something. Yeah, lots of people. Well, I guess my M1 Garand has a Criterion barrel. I think they make those for the CMP, I believe. But yeah, I've heard good things about Criterion. How long is the wait for a Krieger barrel? It's a good question. I have no idea what it is now, but whenever I got mine, it was 3 or 4 months. It's fiberglass? Okay. So do you put anything on top of it when using it as a suppressor cover? Like I guess like in my mind's eye, I'm seeing something super duper janky that would just look a little bit goofy. I'm not above using something that looks a little goofy, but you know, no sticky wires on. Okay. Some are sticky and some just hold shape after getting hot. I'll check it out. Yeah, don't worry about sending me any or anything like that. I'll because I'm probably just going to go with a cover. Yeah, I'd heard something like that. Like Criterion was Krieger button barrels, and a longtime employee bought that division and expanded a bunch. Quality is still there. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Hey there, Eagle Eye Shooting. Good to see you, man. Looks like aluminum tape. Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking that maybe it was that HVAC looking aluminum tape. Well, and plus with the 36M, it's got that extension, and I'm not always going to run it in the long configuration, so I want to be able to take it apart, put it back together, and doing a semi-permanent tape job seems like it might just make life a little more difficult on me. Oh, okay, Tony. Yeah, the Cheekwell comment might have been yours, but you said, yeah, maybe your maybe anchor point was the right. I don't know. I'm confused. Like I said, my default is to agree with anybody who uh, says I'm doing something wrong because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Hey, Carl, I heard Midway's got some CCI 41s. If you hurry. Yeah, there you go. That's what my Patreon supporters are going to buy me for a New Year's Day present. Is a new suppressor cover. All right, so we're passing five, or yeah, we're passing 10 o'clock. So I had mentioned that 2 hours is about like once we go past 2 hours, it gets bad. It goes from really bad to just we start playing Sudoku and talking about all sorts of random stuff. Just picked up some of the 41s from Midway an hour like that. It's been several hours, I guess, that they've been in stock. They must have got a pretty good shipment. Like that is really good news. Hopefully the whole market's about to get flooded with them. Yeah, 10 cents a primer, and just remember the 41s were always a premium priced product. You know they were always priced the same as BR4s and stuff usually. So if $100 is going to be the final number on those, I guess standard primers will probably be in the 75 or 80 range. Hopefully, I guess. God, that hurts. That hurts so bad. Like $30 was bad enough. I mean, I say that, but I go through them so slow that you know it'd be nice to have them available, even if it is $100, I guess. But I know that's high volume guys. That's gonna hurt pretty hard. Ah, Dale mentions it's only 9 o'clock there. Perfect. It's not 10 o'clock somewhere. That's all we need. You want to hear some Mega Man? Yeah, I could switch you guys over to the. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Or maybe that's what we should do. Start playing video games. All right, folks. I think that's where we'll leave it. No reason to go overboard and wear out our welcome here. Appreciate everybody joining me. Good to see you guys. Good to kind of be back with some live stuff. I really enjoy the live stuff. I know it's bad. Like I'm just not good at this, but it's still fun. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for all the super chats. I know I probably missed several and missed a million questions and all that. And hopefully over time, once we're up and running and these things are happening every Monday, we can get caught up on questions and that sort of stuff. So that is it. Thanks a lot, guys. At the very latest, there'll be a video on Sunday, but probably have another video on my second channel about the chickens. We need to come up with a name for that one. I don't know. I'm going to rename that channel at some point. We'll see.